Hello and welcome to my tutorial series on how to model low poly vegetables in Blender. This is part 6 and today we're going to model a cauliflower. This is the finished model, and as always I designed this so you can follow very easily. First of all, let's set up our reference background image so we know what we have to do. And this time, as our simple mesh, we're going to choose an icosphere. And to start working on the model, let's press the Tab key to get into the edit mode, and press 3 for face selection. Select these bottom faces and start extruding them down in the Z-axis by pressing E, then Z. Here we are going to work on the stem of the cauliflower. And I want to add the leaves from the stem, so we have to insert 2 loop cuts here by pressing Command and R. And by scrolling the middle mouse wheel, we can set the amount of loop cuts that we want. Now by pressing Alt and left click, we can select the whole loop cut here, and we have to rotate it in the Z-axis by pressing Z, so we have an offset to work with. So here I'm going to extrude the edges individually by selecting the edge, then pressing E, and right after that I'm right clicking so I can deselect the edge, and repeat this all around. We can't see much now, but if we are selecting them next and scaling them up, we will see the difference. You can select multiple edges, faces or vertices by pressing Shift. Now with our transformation pivot point set to 3D cursor, we can scale these edges up. And by setting this pivot point to individual origins, we can scale the faces down individually. By alternating between these two methods, we can create this shape. If you're scaling on one level, don't forget to press the Shift key, or your result will look like this. And we can fix this very fast by selecting the edges, grabbing them with G, and placing them further on top. Alright, let's extrude some more and scale it down. Until it looks like this. Now for the second edge loop, let's repeat these steps. Select the edge, press E to extrude, then right-click to deselect. And then we can scale these edges out and scale them in individually by alternating between 3D cursor and individual origins as our transformation pivot point. Here I'm using the proportional editing tool, and we get some problems with these faces here. We have some overlapping geometry, but it's an easy fix. Now we have a nice round shape for the leaves. Because a cauliflower doesn't consist of one ball, we have to recreate these individual roses by adding some more icospheres and placing them all around our mesh. You can vary them in size. Just set them because we want all of these objects to follow when we are moving our cauliflower. We can select all of them and combine them into one object by getting into the object mode by pressing Tab, then press A to select all, then Command J to combine them. Alright, now for the shading, we select our mesh and click plus new to create a new material, and we will add our gradient setup by adding a texture coordinate node, a mapping node, a separate X, Y, and Z node, and a color ramp. Plug it into the base color and pick the colors that you like. And because we have one mesh now, we need a second material for the leaves. So on the right hand side, click on the plus, then plus new to create a new material. I'm setting up the gradient color change as well here. And by pressing the tab key, get into edit mode, and now you can select all the faces that you want your new material to display. When you finished selecting the faces, you can hit assign on the right hand side. And now the leaves have a different material. Okay, to add some detail to the leaves, we will add a bump node. We'll connect it to the normal slot. And now add a noise texture and plug it into the height of the bump map. Let's turn this down a bit so it's not too much. Okay, the leaves look fine. Now let's work on the details of the actual cauliflower now. To do that, select the material you want to work on. And here we are going to insert a Voronoi texture. Add a bump node as well, plug it into normal, and connect your Voronoi texture to the height of the bump. This will help us to vary the surface of the cauliflower some more. To have more control over what we see, we can always add a color ramp in between. And to get bumps instead of indentations, we can set an invert node in between the color ramp and the bump. Make sure that you connect the distance to your color ramp and not the color, so you can recreate this look here. Alright, with that you have finished today's tutorial, and if you want to show me your work and maybe want me to show it in one of my future videos, you can either add me on Twitter or Instagram, because I think it would be a lot of fun to show your work here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification button to keep yourself updated on new videos and tutorials. Thanks for watching and have fun creating!